We're here with one of our favorite people in the Brazil IT sector, César Gon, the CEO and founder of Ci&T, one of the companies that's really defined itself around establishing a very strong domestic and export services business. And one of the quotes that César shared recently with Felipe, our reporter at Sourcing Brazil, was talking about human capital in the Brazil IT sector. The greatest qualities of the folks here are the expertise and the cultural adaptability of our IT professionals. We cannot underestimate the cultural aspect. Producing software is increasingly a creative, social, and global activity. So taking off on that point, a creative, social, and global activity, you seem to have understood it, you seem to have cracked the code, but frankly, you seem to be a bit unique among the rest of your peers in Brazil. What needs to change for more folks to see the light that you've seen?
Yeah, I think what's behind this vision is Brazil is joining this global game now, and we are getting to see the opportunities. But we need to design our role in the future, not in the past. And if we look the way the technology evolves in the last few years and the kind of opportunities that this new social, collaborative, mobile, cloud technologies, the kind of opportunities behind these innovations are much more addressable if we forget this offshoring model. I think it was based on the definition of if we could produce software as a factory. That's why the factory software, this shame name, becomes popular. We can keep up with the huge explosible demand for software. But I think it's the wrong answer for this problem. I think there is much more efficient way to produce software if we embrace a very different way to articulate talent, and talent from the customer, talent from the providers, and in the whole environment. What is unique about Ci&T is that we decide that even having the luck of being in a country where the internal market is huge, is the fastest growing IT market in the world and so on, we decide to compete in the more developed, more central countries, really to understand what is the current stage, what is the status quo of the IT industry. When we compete in the US, we are really creating a way, a window for the future, because if we understand how to generate more value in that such competitive and large environment, for sure we can help better our customers here in Brazil. So we decide to really manage, explore the domestic opportunity, but keep the company with the eyes in the global market, creating new development centers outside of Brazil, bringing people from different cultures to Ci&T. I think it's about the long-term idea that Brazil has a lot of good things to contribute in this industry, but it's going to only happen if we keep a global mind. Mm-hmm. It's not easy in a country so close, so historically folks internally as Brazil.
Absolutely, and we've heard a lot in this conference about how Brazil is starting to unshackle itself from these regulatory constraints. At least we're hearing it spoken. For you, are you convinced that the real change is going to begin, or is it still kind of just talk?
No, I think it's starting to happen. We feel the whole industry, the government, at least agreeing in the main points that are barriers to future for the Brazilian industry and Brazilian companies at all. Of course, there are still a lot of room. For improvement. There is a big gaps in some areas, and there are a lot of entrepreneurship that need to appear that for this country to have a serious role in this industry. But I think if you look at 10 years ago, we were really behind. And now I think things start to move. The flywheel is starting to happen.
It's acceleration.
Yeah.
So Ci&T, as many of you may know, is one of the true Brazilian success stories, started by César, I believe, two other co-founders.
Yes.
And at a time, I think 1998, was that?
1995.
1995, at a time where, starting a Brazilian startup at the outset was looking at export services was probably very revolutionary.
Yeah.
So for someone like you today to try to create an innovative new software design organization, is it easier? Is it more conducive? Do they have access to capital? Are all the basic funding building blocks there now?
I think for the environment is much better in terms of capital, in terms of the whole maturity of the business environment in Brazil. So it makes things much easier. But of course, now IT is becoming more global and more challenged. So the competition is going to increase a lot in the next years. And that's the fun game to play, right? If you succeed, you're going to be global. There is no alternative. And that's a real, and I think the industry needs a different perspective, especially when you go to this, when you analyze the kind of business value that this offshoring industry is generating. I think there is tremendous space for creative and new ways to really put software and the technology in a new level of business value generation. And that's something that I think worth to pursue. Is something that is a purpose that values and move people ahead.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we always love checking in with you and your colleague Leo Matiasi up in the United States. So thank you so much, César. Good luck with everything.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you, Kirk.